Ladies and gentlemen, Takeoff here, and welcome to a flight test video today. Now today we are looking at the Xi'an Scout. I didn't originally sort of jump to make this flight test video because the first sort of couple of runs that we had from Star Citizen had a few issues to the thrusters and the maneuverability seemed a little bit odd, but now it seems pretty good. Well, first of all, viewing angles are something that we just don't experience in any other the ships in game so far. There's unrestricted view to the left and right. It has these very odd control system, very alien-like, these sort of mystical sort of balls that you move your hands on. Very interesting. I did actually try and work out what the one does on the right-hand side. I can see the left one moving, but I tried I've tried everything else. I can't quite get his hand to move. One really good thing about this ship that I sort of noted straight away is the, dare I say, I'm not saying the lack of drift, because obviously drift exists, you know, on all ships. But the fact that this has got such a good speed and acceleration, it pulls out the drift really well, and also it does a full turn very, very quickly. You'll see in the video, you see what I mean? It literally, when I turn, it's, you know, within a couple of seconds that the weapons have actually turned to face the opposite direction. Secondly to that, when you're flying it, you do feel like you've got a lot of control over the ship. With a little bit of timing, you can stop very, very close to rock quite quickly, and also you can maneuver around the rocks quite quickly. Now this is, being a scout, sort of makes sense to me. It should have really good maneuverability, and it should have good speed. Now looking on the outside, this is one of the definitely extreme sort of designs. It does look very alien-like, I must admit. It does look very, very cool. And when this is first dropped in, it did do some crazy stuff. Now the thrusters actually do move. You can see them moving there. I'm not sure if that's still right yet. I was trying to sort of, you know, work out to myself if that was actually making corrections to the direction I was travelling after I made a direction change, you know, so it's trying to rebalance the ship. I do like the design of the ship. It does look very, very nice. One thing you actually don't appreciate when you're sitting inside the ship, how big it is. On face value, from distance, it looks pretty small, but when you actually sort of look at the side and you look at the profile of yourself, it's pretty big. Now the only downside that I see with this, it has a larger forward profile than quite a few of the other ships. You see what I'm getting at? So if you're going for a very, very tight spot, it's not going to be an issue. It's just you've got to be aware you've got a lot more bits hanging off the ship. You haven't got just two wings, you've got a bit below you as well and above you. I haven't actually crashed into anything yet and it hasn't caused a problem because it has that maneuverability, so it's sort of prevented me from having them sort of crashes. So let's jump outside. Really, really awesome door. We're going to have a quick look outside. I've made a video on a sort of a full walk round of this ship. I'll leave a link in the description and you can go and have a look, and that talks about more about the weapons and goes into a little bit more detail and looks at some of the fidelity. Let's have a quick fly around here. Have you noticed that that glass, right, is actually like a greeny sort of mist? I don't know if that's some sort of alien technology on there or something, but it just looks a bit odd. Not noticeable from the inside, it's just basically from the outside that you notice that. One of the coolest looking ships. Looking forward to seeing the alien guns as well, because these ones are placeholders until they come out. Let's open that door. I don't know if you've noticed this little sort of bug noise you get as well. Sometimes when you're flying around, it's almost like predators in the ship with you. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. So we're going to have a quick look at the takeoff and landing animation. Now I don't normally do this in my video, but this is probably one of the coolest takeoff and landing I've ever seen on any of the ships so far. I mean, the other ones, the legs come down and it lands. This thing is like Transformers. Check this out. Really cool, guys. What can I say? Looks just so cool. Okay, right, what we do is we jump into some Vandal Swarm and we see how it fares out in fighting. Right, we're in some Vandal Swarm. One of the sort of traits of this ship that I found very, very effective was the ability to accelerate and decelerate, particularly when you're following a target or you want to catch up with a target. It's difficult to really comment on the guns on the ship, making the assumption the power will be very similar to the alien ones once they're actually fitted onto the ship. But all in all, fixed mount, good guns, not bad size. Now this is actually listed as a light fighter, but at the same time, it's got exploration capabilities and also scouting capabilities. If you're flying down towards a planet, you've got such a good viewing angle to the left and right of you. This would be a fantastic ship for use, maybe like a pre-scout to go down, scout down on a planet, or to scout ahead of a fleet or attacking fleet behind you and use it so it can hide behind the rocks and evade trouble. It has the capability of obviously shooting its way out of things, all depending on that it's a sort of a like for like. One of the benefits of this ship by far is the acceleration and deceleration and top speed that it can do. So you will be able to evade being attacked. Now also keep in mind that this ship is by far complete yet. We haven't got, I was going to say HUDs guys, but I don't know what they're going to put inside of here. Hopefully they do something a bit more alien-y and not like everything else, if that makes any sense. I'm hoping they show us something slightly different. We can see these sort of flat panels to the left and the right there. Going to be something at some point, so we'll have to wait and see. One thing what did take me a little while to get used to, the bars down the center of the screen, for two reasons. The first reason is a little bit restrictive. I mean, don't get me wrong, you still can see the left to the right, but one of the challenges I found is if you're flying towards, let's just say, you know, an asteroid area, you sort of go into panic mode thinking, I wonder if there's rocks behind that screen. Fortunately, it didn't happen. You've got to be a bit vigilant on your approach and make sure that you're lining up and you're sure you can actually make it through the rocks before you get too close, because if you're looking when you're that close, you're more than likely going to get a rock through the windscreen. This definitely has an advantage when you're tracking a target top to bottom, because there's absolutely nothing restricting that field of view absolutely at all. I found that quite enjoyable, because with some of the ships sometimes get frustrated when you're trying to track a target and you feel like you're getting into a very, very sort of turning battle because your screen is quite narrow. And this is not the case with this ship. Now the ability to maneuver and track targets in this ship is absolutely brilliant. There's no doubt about it. I found it really, really enjoyable. It's not stressful to fly like some of the ships. I found it quite easy to track the targets, and the current weapons are quite capable of taking out the Vandal and players. So in summary guys, what do I think of this ship? I think that this is an absolute fantastic ship. And if I have to be honest with you, in the current state, I know the Vandal ships are getting an overhaul, but I do prefer this at the moment over the Vandal ships, even though they have more firepower and they theoretically are more superior. From a just pure fun and enjoyable gameplay, this is a great ship guys, and it's new people friendly as well. So the final thing on the agenda today guys, don't forget to check out my Facebook page. I put other updates on there as well. And also if you're looking to join a Star Citizen organisation, I have a little one as well. I'll put a link in the description below if you fancy joining, come and say hello. We also play other games as well. So thanks for watching guys, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.
Approaching simulation boundary. Elite units eliminated.